Have you ever watched an eagle soar through the sky and wondered what makes it the ultimate predator of the air? While other birds get distracted by every little movement below, the eagle keeps its eyes locked on one target. It doesn't give up when the wind gets rough. It doesn't change direction when clouds block its view. It simply focuses, waits, and strikes with perfect timing. Today, we're going to explore the eagle's mindset and how you can develop the same laser focus and unshakable purpose in your own life. Because here's the truth. The difference between people who achieve their dreams and those who do not is not talent, luck, or connections. It's the ability to focus like an eagle and never lose sight of what truly matters. So if you're ready to stop getting distracted by every shiny object and start building the kind of focus that leads to real success, this video is for you. Let me start with a story that changed my perspective forever. A wildlife photographer once told me about spending weeks in the mountains trying to capture the perfect shot of an eagle hunting. He watched this magnificent bird perch on a cliff for hours, completely still, scanning the valley below. Other birds would fly by, making noise and creating distractions. Small animals would move around, catching the attention of every other predator in the area. But the eagle never moved. It wasn't being lazy or indecisive. It was waiting for the right moment, the right target, the perfect opportunity. And when that moment came, a fish jumping in the river nearly a mile away, the eagle dove with incredible speed and precision. One target, one focus, one perfect execution. That's the eagle mindset in action. Now let's talk about what this means for your life. The first principle of the eagle mindset is having laser focus on what truly matters. Most people try to chase 10 different goals at the same time. They want to lose weight, start a business, learn a new skill, improve their relationships, and travel the world all at once. But here's what happens when you spread your attention too thin. You end up making little progress on everything instead of real progress on anything. The eagle doesn't hunt rabbits, fish, and birds all at the same time. It picks one target and gives that target its complete attention. Think about the most successful people you know. They didn't become successful by doing 100 different things. They became successful by doing one thing extremely well, then building on that foundation. Michael Jordan didn't try to be the best at basketball, baseball, and football simultaneously. He focused on basketball with laser intensity. Steve Jobs didn't try to revolutionize phones, computers, cars, and restaurants all at once. He focused on one product category at a time and made it perfect. The second principle is developing unshakable purpose. Eagles don't hunt because they're bored or because other birds are doing it. They hunt because their survival depends on it. They have a clear, non-negotiable reason for their actions. Your purpose needs to be just as strong. It can't be something weak like, I want to be successful, or I want to make money. Those aren't purposes. They're wishes. Real purpose comes from deep within you. It's the reason you get up early when everyone else is sleeping. It's the reason you keep going when everything seems impossible. It's the reason you make sacrifices that others won't make. Let me share another story that illustrates this perfectly. I once met a woman who started a non-profit organization to provide clean water to villages in Africa. When I asked her why she chose this mission, she told me about visiting her grandmother's village as a child. She watched her grandmother walk 3 miles every day just to get water that wasn't even clean. She saw children getting sick from drinking contaminated water. She made a promise to herself that day that she would find a way to solve this problem. That promise became her unshakable purpose. When investors rejected her proposals, she didn't give up. When people told her it was impossible, she didn't listen. When she faced setbacks and failures, she kept going. Because her purpose was stronger than any obstacle. Today, her organization has provided clean water to over 200 villages. That's the power of unshakable purpose. The third principle is learning to wait for the right moment. This might be the hardest lesson for most people to learn. We live in a world that tells us we need everything right now. Instant results, instant gratification, instant success. But eagles understand that patience is not just a virtue, it's a strategy. They don't strike at the first thing they see. They wait for the perfect opportunity when success is almost guaranteed. In your life, this means learning to say no to good opportunities so you can say yes to great ones. It means being patient enough to build your skills before you try to compete with experts. It means waiting for the right job, the right relationship, the right investment opportunity, instead of settling for whatever comes first. I learned this lesson the hard way in my own career. Early on, I said yes to every opportunity that came my way. I thought being busy meant being productive. I thought taking action was always better than waiting, but I was wrong. I was so busy chasing small opportunities that I missed the big ones. I was so focused on making quick money that I didn't build lasting value. It wasn't until I learned to be selective, to wait for the right moments, that my career really took off. The fourth principle is maintaining focus during storms. Eagles are the only birds that fly directly into storms. While other birds hide and wait for the storm to pass, eagles use the storm's energy to soar higher. They don't let bad weather stop them from reaching their destination. In your life, storms come in many forms: financial difficulties, relationship problems, health challenges, career setbacks. Most people let these storms knock them off course. They abandon their goals when things get difficult. They change direction every time they face resistance. But people with the eagle mindset understand that storms are temporary. They keep their eyes on their long-term vision even when short-term circumstances are challenging. They use difficulties as opportunities to grow stronger, not as excuses to give up. Let me tell you about Tom, a friend of mine who started his own business. In his first year, he lost 3 major clients in 1 month. His revenue dropped by 60%. He had to move to a smaller apartment and cut all unnecessary expenses. Many people told him to give up and get a regular job, but Tom had the eagle mindset. He kept his focus on his long-term vision. He used the setback as motivation to improve his services. He worked longer hours, learned new skills, and found creative ways to attract better clients. Today, 5 years later, his business is more successful than he ever imagined. The storm didn't stop him, it made him stronger. The fifth principle is developing incredible patience combined with lightning-fast action. This seems contradictory, but it's actually the perfect balance. Eagles spend hours being perfectly still, waiting and watching. But when the right moment comes, they move faster than almost any other creature. In your life, this means taking time to plan, prepare, and position yourself for success. But when opportunities arise, you move quickly and decisively. Most people do the opposite. They make quick decisions without proper planning, then move slowly when opportunities appear. They spend years thinking about starting a business, but never take the first step. They talk about their dreams constantly, but never create a concrete plan to achieve them. People with the eagle mindset do their thinking and planning in advance. They spend time developing their skills, building their network, and saving their resources. So when the perfect opportunity appears, they're ready to move immediately. The sixth principle is learning from every flight. Eagles don't just repeat the same hunting patterns over and over. They learn from each experience and adapt their strategies. If a technique doesn't work, they try something different. If conditions change, they adjust their approach. But they never change their core purpose or their ultimate destination. This is crucial for your success. You need to be flexible in your methods, but rigid in your goals. If one approach to your business doesn't work, try another approach. If one way of learning doesn't suit you, find a different way. But don't change your fundamental purpose every time you face a challenge. I see too many people who give up on their dreams the moment their first plan doesn't work. They think failure means they chose the wrong goal, but usually failure just means they chose the wrong method. The goal is still valid. They just need to find a better path to reach it. The seventh principle is understanding your unique strengths. Eagles don't try to swim like fish or run like cheetahs. They focus on what they do best, flying and hunting from the air. They've built their entire strategy around their natural advantages. You need to do the same thing. Stop trying to succeed by copying someone else's exact approach. Instead, identify your unique strengths and build your success strategy around them. If you're naturally good with people, focus on careers and opportunities that involve human interaction. If you're analytical and detail-oriented, look for ways to use those skills. If you're creative and artistic, find ways to monetize your creativity. The key is being honest about what you're naturally good at and what you struggle with. Then structure your life to maximize your strengths and minimize your weaknesses. The eighth principle is maintaining long-term vision while handling short-term tasks. Eagles never lose sight of their destination, even when they're focused on immediate actions. They can concentrate intensely on catching one fish while still knowing exactly where they're going next. This dual focus is essential for sustained success. You need clear long-term goals that guide all your decisions. But you also need the ability to focus completely on whatever task is in front of you right now. Many people struggle with this balance. They either get so caught up in long-term dreaming that they don't take daily action, or they get so busy with daily tasks that they lose sight of their bigger purpose. The eagle mindset requires both perspectives working together. Your long-term vision gives meaning and direction to your daily actions. Your daily actions are the building blocks that make your long-term vision possible. The ninth principle is choosing your environment carefully. Eagles don't build their nests in crowded, noisy areas. They choose high, quiet places where they can see clearly and focus completely. Your environment has a huge impact on your ability to maintain focus and purpose. If you're surrounded by people who are constantly negative, complaining, or lacking ambition, it's going to be much harder for you to stay focused on your goals. If your physical environment is cluttered, chaotic, or full of distractions, you'll struggle to maintain the clear thinking you need for success. Take an honest look at your current environment. Who are you spending time with? What kind of energy do they bring to your life? Are they supporting your goals or undermining them? What does your workspace look like? Is it organized and conducive to focused work, or is it full of distractions? Make changes where necessary. This doesn't mean you have to cut off everyone who isn't as ambitious as you, but it does mean being intentional about who you spend your most important time with. The 10th and final principle is understanding that the eagle mindset is a daily choice. Eagles don't decide once to be focused hunters and then coast for the rest of their lives. Every single day, they choose to maintain their discipline, their focus, and their commitment to excellence. Your mindset works the same way. You can't just read about these principles once and expect them to automatically become part of your life. You have to choose them every single day. Every morning, you have to choose focus over distraction. Every day, you have to choose your long-term goals over short-term temptations. Every week, you have to evaluate your progress and make adjustments. This is where most people fail. They get motivated for a few days or weeks, then gradually slip back into their old patterns. They expect motivation to carry them, but motivation is temporary. What carries you long-term is the daily choice to live according to these principles, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Now, let me share a practical framework you can use to start developing the eagle mindset immediately. First, identify your one primary goal for the next 90 days. Not 3 goals, not 5 goals. One goal that matters more than anything else. Write it down clearly and specifically. Instead of, I want to get in shape, write, I want to lose 15 pounds and be able to run 3 miles without stopping. Instead of, I want to improve my career, write, I want to get promoted to senior manager in my current company. Second, identify your deeper purpose behind this goal. Why does this goal matter to you? What will achieving it make possible in your life? How will you feel when you accomplish it? Who else will benefit when you succeed? Write down at least 5 compelling reasons why this goal is important to you. Third, eliminate 3 distractions that are currently stealing your focus. This might be social media, television, toxic relationships, or unimportant activities. Be ruthless about cutting things that don't serve your primary goal. Fourth, create a daily routine that supports your goal. What specific actions will you take every single day to move closer to your objective? Schedule these actions at specific times, just like you would schedule important meetings. Fifth, establish a weekly review process. Every week, evaluate your progress honestly. What worked well? What didn't work? What adjustments do you need to make? This review process keeps you accountable and helps you stay on track. Remember, developing the eagle mindset isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about making the choice to focus on what matters, even when everything around you is trying to pull your attention in different directions. It's about staying committed to your purpose, even when the path gets difficult. It's about being patient enough to wait for the right opportunities and decisive enough to act when they appear. The eagle doesn't become the king of the sky by accident. It earns that title through unwavering focus, unshakable purpose, and the discipline to stay committed to its nature. You have the same potential within you. The question is whether you'll choose to develop it. Starting today, you can begin living with the eagle mindset. You can choose focus over distraction, purpose over aimlessness, and patience over impulsiveness. The principles I've shared with you today are not just theories. They're practical tools that have helped countless people transform their lives. But knowing these principles isn't enough. You have to apply them consistently, day after day, until they become part of who you are. If this video helped you understand the power of the eagle mindset, hit the like button to let me know. Share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And subscribe to the channel for more content that will help you develop the mindset and habits of successful people. In the comments below, tell me what your one primary goal is for the next 90 days. Be specific and be bold. When you write it down publicly, you're making a commitment not just to yourself, but to this entire community. Remember, eagles fly alone, but they're never truly alone. They're part of something bigger than themselves. You're part of something bigger, too. You're part of a community of people who refuse to settle for average, who choose growth over comfort, and who understand that the only limits that matter are the ones we accept in our own minds. Soar high, stay focused, and never forget that you have the power to achieve anything you set your mind to. I'll see you in the next video.